My name is Dylan CineMasai Green, and welcome to the Real Notes podcast. I speak with rappers, producers, journalists, and other hip-hop adjacent figures about their relationship with movies, and, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guest this week is Maryland rapper Heno. We spoke about Monk, Bored to Death, several other detective shows, Sinners, the MCU, growing up in an Ethiopian-Eritrean household in the DMV, rap keeping him out of trouble, being a nomad, touring Europe this past spring with Oddisee, building his connection with Oddisee and producer Mad Keys, and the creative process behind his latest projects, Healing Out Loud, produced entirely by Mad Keys, and the upcoming Now That's What I Call Heno Volume 1. Come fuck with me. What coffee shop you at right now?
At this spot in Koreatown called Dolce Vita Coffee. They're one of the few spots in LA I've found that actually make really good pour-overs and aren't like too expensive. Like I paid $6 for this coffee. And I feel like if I get the same coffee in New York, I'm paying a legitimate $11 to $15 for this cup.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, this has kind of been like my little hub I come to sometimes.
Word.
Yeah.
So you in LA right now?
I'm in LA right now, but by the time this comes out, I probably won't be.
You're really everywhere, bro. I don't know how you be around the way you be around, but you're really everywhere.
Yeah, the nomad life is I think it's ingrained in me on some like East African shit. I don't know. I think it's bigger than me. It just be what it is.
Hey man, nah, I feel you. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to Real Notes. Real, like, nice, centered, cold intro on a pretty brisk, cold November day. My name's Dylan Green, CineMasai. Got a lot of names, do a lot of shit, outside, inside, all sides. I haven't recorded one of these in a couple weeks, so I'm just kind of, I'm trying to fall back into the rhythm. And I don't got a pour over, but my guest today does have a pour over, and he's enjoying it on the West Coast. Like we were just saying, yeah, like this is a man of the world, you know. Like he's all over the place at all times. He spent a good chunk of earlier this year touring with I like to say an idol of, I think, both of ours at this rate, Oddisee, which is we're gonna get into that, but I don't know, man. Like rapper, man about town, man of the world. His name's on his hat. If you're watching the video, we got fucking Heno's here, man. I'm so excited to do this one. Healing Out Loud's been out since like March. Shout out to Mad Keys. Y'all did great. Yeah, truly, y'all did great work on this project. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being. It has been a long. We've been talking about this for at least a year and a half.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. I'm happy. It's finally time. Thank you for coming on, bro.
I appreciate you having me, man. And y'all been going crazy too. So it's just, it's always about timing. So I know, like, yeah, that's just how it is. So glad it all makes sense to be today. So here we are.
Yeah, man. Well, now I gotta know, what are you doing out in LA?
I have basically just wrapped up a bunch of like stuff I kind of was like some projects and stuff I kind of had my hands in, and I'm leaving basically to kind of do a similar kind of play I did this year, which was I like left LA at the end of November last year to spend a lot of time in New York, split between New York and DC, and then kind of prepping for tour stuff. And I'm doing a similar kind of run next year, so just kind of going home. I'm going to be splitting time in New York and DC. Obviously got a bunch of shit we've been like locking in on, and gonna just start the year pretty nomadic. Going to be in Australia and in Europe too. So just kind of getting ready for those things, amongst other shit too. But like, yeah, man, it's this music shit is a blessing, man. I like to travel, and it gives me a reason to. So I can't complain if the job, if it calls for some shit. I just have learned to, like, at this point, be very like, you got to be as adaptive as you are like planned. And I feel like like 90% of my life now is play by ear. It just be like that now.
So, risk and faith, chances. It's just like you just kind of go where you're called. Before we move on, can I ask what you're going to be doing in Australia? You're going to be playing shows? You just going out there just to?
Oh no, shows. Yeah. We can get into that stuff too, but I know there are questions, so I don't want to jump the gun. So
No, of course. Okay. Yeah, I was just curious. But okay. So yeah, we'll get to that, but like we gotta get the movie shit out the way first. So, yeah. First question I ask everybody who comes on here. What was the last movie or TV show you watched that you had a strong opinion about?
Man. That I had a strong opinion about. All right, this is
Yeah.
gonna be mad
Good.
random. As far as
Let's go.
I've been doing a deep dive on like detective like espionage kind of like shows lately. Like I've been really in a Monk bag lately, random as hell. Like
Uh-huh.
Monk
Wow.
and Columbo. I've been like the last like week or two. I've just been like binging them, and it's just something about like the way that they both have their like approach to just like, all right, we gonna break this down. We know like they be knowing who's guilty at the beginning of a thing, but it's just like let me put the play together and really, and it is something about how they, I just it's grab it, I just binge it. And strong opinions are just these type of shows just aren't made anymore. I feel like that and maybe it's like played out or not. I don't know. I've always been into like shit like that, like even sci-fi type shit. So just crime and other things. So I feel like no one talks about Monk at all, and I really like that. I'll
Yeah.
happily be the one to be like, yeah, I fuck with this shit. Ain't no rappers talking about Monk, bro. I don't know. Like I
Right.
fuck with that shit for real. And Columbo. Me and my pops used to watch that shit a lot. So
Uh,
so yeah, just some shit. Yeah.
That's dope. It's been years since I watched Monk. I never did the whole series watch front to back, but I've seen a handful of episodes. Like his like I like Tony Shalhoub, the actor who plays him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like there was just something like real like quaint and funny about a show like Monk. And it's like it's not exactly the same, but I want to say like a year or maybe less than a year ago, I tried to watch. You ever watch Bored to Death?
I have not. Put me on. So,
Bored to Death is it's kind of like Monk. It's about like a true crime novelist. It came out in like the early. It was either the early 2000s or like the early 2010s. But it was a show
okay.
about like a true crime novelist who gets called upon to actually start solving crimes for real, and he becomes like a freelance detective. I think I made it through like two or three episodes of that and then never picked it up again, but it gave me the same kind of feeling. Just like real like quaint, like more funny than serious, like kind of serious but not really serious, like kind of like a I'd put it like two or three steps above something like Psych,
Yeah.
which I never loved Psych. Like
It
I
was
know people who
there.
like yeah, like I
Yeah.
but like I know people who like live or die by that show. I was never one of
And
those, but I
it be
but but I
niggas that
also
really
love
like that show and like Burn Notice that just have really strong opinions about it. I'm just like, bro, like I get it, but that's not for me. The
yeah.
USA Today stuff and the fucking TNT reruns and
And
shit. I'm like,
Suits
it's
and
still
shit like Suits, yeah, like Suits isn't a detective show, but like but like
hey,
people
look,
like that's like the fans of that shit are legions, son.
Suits,
Like
Suits, and like TNT got a similar deal as like Ridiculous this and MTV, where that shit just on
yeah,
23
yeah.
hours a day, and then
Oh
maybe they
my
got one
god, son.
NBA game, and then it's like just with these shows. It's crazy.
Yo.
Oh,
But now that I think about it, the one detective show that I'm like super duper into, it's on, yeah, it's a CBS show. It's called Elsbeth. You ever watch Elsbeth before?
I haven't. Nah, you put me on
Um
to some shit. I need to tap in.
so Elsbeth, it's a spinoff of oh, what the fuck was the show called? It's a spinoff of another show that was like a law procedural show. And
Mhm.
Elsbeth, she's a retired lawyer who gets brought on as a consultant for the NYPD. And she's just like she'll be like at the scene of a crime and just like the way the show is structured, it's structured where like it starts out with the crime being done and then you
Similar
and
kind
then
of.
every right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like she spends the whole episode kind of like dissecting it and figuring it out. And of course, like she figures it out at the end of the day, always gets the man, lady, whoever's involved with the crime. She's like she's a quirky white lady who's got like hella bread because she saved a bunch of money from her lawyering. So she's dressed to the fucking nines in these like
Mhm.
colorful ass outfits, and she's like a 50-year-old red haired white lady who just like solves crimes. And like Wendell Pierce is the police chief, and like yeah, it's I think they just started the third season.
Okay.
And yeah, like I watched it with my pops and my sister one day, and then I showed it to my lady, and we started blowing through it because it's like a my lady's really, or I don't know, Desiree's not into them as much as they used to be, but like it's like what they call like a cozy mystery. Like
Yeah,
it's crime shit, but it's very like wholesome
it's
and
and
not
it's
super duper aggressive. You know?
yeah, like I feel like Monk kind of fits that. Like not it's not gory, but it still fits like the kind of like it can be background noise, it can be something that's there, but then obviously it
Yeah.
has its moments where you're like really attentive. Um, it's funny, like just in the same vein, like I spun the block earlier this year on How to Get Away with Murder, and I forgot how much
Mm,
that show pissed me off. Like I love Viola Davis. Not even like that. Just I
yeah.
feel like
Come on.
after the third season, if I was Viola Davis, would have been like, bruh, y'all niggas are fucking like the worst. I keep having to like save y'all every episode. Like y'all niggas can't get away with this shit at all on your own. Like, hold on.
Yeah.
I would be like, there's no season four. I would have been like, I'm good. Like y'all niggas are on your own. Like,
Yeah. Nah.
especially,
She would have needed to get her own spinoff and go like do
yeah, yeah,
something else where she's like a professor or
yeah.
something. I don't know. Yeah,
Something
yeah,
else.
I couldn't even fully tap in because like I knew too many people who watched it and they would explain it to me,
Mm,
and I'm like, I don't need that kind of stress in my life. I'm
you
cool,
know.
you know, like
Not dead ass. I feel like, and also just I think self awareness around production of a show sometimes is lost because niggas is just trying to get money. Not saying that's what that
hmm
was, but I feel like obviously your first season of anything is going to be that test pilot. Like, okay, we're figuring it out. But like
yeah,
season two is always the one that hits. Season three is a double down of season what worked in season two. But then it's like season four and any show is like when it starts to get like, all right, either we're doing too much, we're either diluting what we did have, or like, or in rare cases, it's really good, and then y'all just stop. Like Atlanta
yeah,
stopped at season four and was like, all right, cool. Like this is the furthest we can push this story. Like we didn't need, we don't need to office it and have like two extra seasons no one asked for. Even though I
yeah.
love that show, but and Steve Carell is one of my favorites. But yeah, yeah. Just I hate find I like liking a show and growing to hate it because they just didn't want to let go of the story or didn't know where
Yeah.
else to take it. That's just the thing that I get bored of. And I feel like that's part of as much as the film buff as I am. It's part of why I kind of stopped watching newer movies unless it's like really like just because I'm like I can't put 2 plus 2.5 hours into something and find out in the last 20 minutes I shouldn't have even watched it. Like, holy
uh,
shit. Don't need, we got all these Zack Snyder cuts.
okay, so all right,
Sorry, go
so
ahead.
now that you
I'm
nah
veering. I'm veering. So yeah, my bad.
nah, you're so good. I wanna
Okay.
like I wanna know what the last new movie you saw that made you feel like that. Was it Justice League? Because you're talking about Zack Snyder cuts and shit.
It's not even fair to do that to him because I do fuck with this movie. He's really good.
Yeah,
It's just that DC movie that he did that was like what was it, the Justice League one that was like 3 hours. Yeah,
yeah.
and then it had a two
It
hour
split it up into
extra.
7 parts. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I didn't we didn't need that. I get
yeah.
it though. What I'm really waiting for from DC is them to eventually, or not DC, I'm sorry, just in general, as we're talking about like superhero movies and stuff, they need to bring X Men back in the live action. I'm waiting for that because I feel like they didn't get like Toby. It was really Iron Man and obviously Spider Man, like Toby Maguire and oh my God, Iron Man, fucking
Robert
Robert
Downey
Downey,
Jr.
yeah, that
Yeah,
like
yeah.
sparked everything, but it was on the backs of the X Men series. I feel like
hmm
they didn't have the budget for and the technical. So I just feel like a live action because they brought back the X Men '97, and I loved
Uh
that.
huh.
Of just like okay, y'all are. y'all are getting it, but I feel like they're setting up them bringing back that universe in a way
Mm-hmm.
where like if they had the Marvel money that they did now, like that's just gonna. I think that's what I'm waiting for of all of these. If Zack
Yeah.
Snyder can come in and do that, I'm like, cool. I'll watch a 4 hour X-Men movie. Like,
Yeah,
you know, like,
I'm in. Yeah, for sure. I'm in too. Like I've been an X-Men fan even since before, like the first movie came. Because yeah, it really was that. It was the first X-Men. It was Spider-Man, and then it was Blade. Blade did it before
Blade.
all
Oh,
of them
Blade. Yeah,
did.
Blade was there.
Like
Yeah.
that was like. But I mean like that first
Shout out
like
to you. Actually the last time I seen you was at the Pink Sea video where we watched Blade.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was trying to remember the last time I saw you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
was a
That was
beautiful
good.
night, man.
That was a beautiful night.
That was so much fun. But yeah, I mean like yeah, like big X-Men fan. I finally watched X-Men 97. Like I didn't like it at first because the animation style really was like kind of
Exciting.
pissing me off a ton. But like the story is great. It's super interesting. I just like when it comes to a show like that and considering how good the original show looks, like still even considering its style, it's just like I could see some of the cut corners and I was like, this is it really just irritated me. But like I've talked to enough people and told me get over it, watch it, it's dope. It was
Yeah.
dope.
No,
Y'all were
you
right.
have
It
to.
was
You
yeah.
you have. That's actually funny. It reminds me of like how music artists will have like demoitis, like you
Yeah.
like you made
Mm.
a really fire demo, but then when you like go and like make the polished record, sometimes it doesn't hit the same. And I feel like that be reminded me of like yeah, like because obviously the original X Men like they had crack in that like
Yeah, that shit was
that shit
crazy.
was great, but I had to go in it like it's not gonna be the same thing, but they're gonna try and like
Hmm.
kind of accepting that and going in. I was like, all right, the animation style for the first episode was like, we here, and again, my hope is that that just sparks the interest of yeah, we need to do more X Men shit, and then
Yeah.
that's the hope. Fingers crossed. But
Yeah. I think it's coming because they've been building up to it. They've been building up to it in the MCU for a long time. I don't know who's gonna be playing anybody. I don't know who's directing the movie, but like they're like X-Men, they're coming to the MCU. Like I would
feel
imagine sometime in the next like 3 to 4 years. You know?
yeah, and I feel like they have to take their time with it, and I'm okay with that because I don't need them to come out next year with a movie that they didn't cast the right people. Because I imagine they're gonna want to obviously build out the universe. So there's gonna be a shit ton of movies. You know,
Hmm.
who's the new Wolverine? Like, how did you feel about that Deadpool Wolverine one, that movie that came out? Only because I'm like, y'all really stretched it to just bring Hugh Jackman back for one more time. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see
Like
him being the Wolverine again. You know what I mean? I just feel like,
yeah, because he was done after Logan, and like
yeah,
they even had to kind of like coax him back to do Logan. But Deadpool and Wolverine was like it was fun. I had a good time with certain parts of it,
yeah,
but we didn't need it.
we
To
didn't
in
need it.
my opinion, weakest of the three Deadpool movies. Um, I thought it was fun to see Wesley Snipes come back as Blade. It was fun. I thought it was cool to see Channing Tatum be Gambit, but the more I thought about it, I fucking hated Channing Tatum as Gambit.
Yeah,
Like
because then
that ugh,
the meme that like went around, like y'all just took away
yeah.
from the movie 100%. And I love Gambit.
Yeah.
Gambit's literally like my favorite X Men. Like,
Gambit's amazing.
yeah, I got a song called Gambit. Like, I love Gambit, my nigga. So just seeing
Yo.
Remy be played by this nigga, I was like, all right, let y'all cook. Because eventually y'all gonna put out a movie and it's gonna be a Gambit, and we're just gonna be like, what
Yeah.
the fuck was that? All right.
Right.
Unless they're setting him up to be that, in which I'm concerned already.
Yeah. I hope not,
Hope
but like the movie, but like overall the movie was like I said, like my least favorite of the three. Uh like I don't know that I really liked it as a movie. I liked it for certain moments in it. I thought the little intro where he was beating the shit out of the TBA police people with Wolverine skeleton was super fun. I liked man, like there was
I would
other
have
stuff
watched
in
it.
there, but it
I
was
would have watched it on
yeah
streaming first. Like,
yeah
but I thought it was good. Yeah, it was good, but I wouldn't go to theaters. Like, I was like, I waited for it to come out and I watched it. Like,
yeah that was smart. That was smart.
yeah. And also just because the nigga be around, it's like I gotta really like if I'm gonna sit in the theater, I need it to be like yeah. Actually, if we're talking about movies we had strong opinions about, I mean I hate
Yeah.
to join into the discourse, but Sinners, man, I for context, we were on tour and we watched that shit. I gotta tell you, it was me, Mad Keys, Oddisee, and Good Company. It literally just it was like the 6 or 7 of us in an empty theater in Sweden. No, no, not Sweden.
Wow.
Yeah, it was in Sweden. Yeah, yeah. We had a layover. We had like 2 days in between, and we were just like, oh, let's just watch it in this empty theater. And one thing I learned about don't watch movies in Europe. Just no, because they have a fucking intermission halfway into the movie. So like
Damn.
climactic. It was the scene where the Irish dude is talking to the biracial shorty, uh, and like they're outside and they're really like getting into his character, and like
Right.
right as it's about to peak, they're like 15 minutes. Everybody go use the bathroom, get your beverages, like, and we just sat in the theater like looking around like, what is this?
Wow.
like what? And then you just had to wait 15 minutes, and then they just start the scene right. Not even like a smooth transition. It just picks back up in the middle of whatever. I think that fucked up my viewing of the movie. But I feel like my hot take was I appreciated the nuance and like the conversation they were trying to have. But sometimes I feel like this might sound crazy. Sometimes I feel like when it's somebody you ever had somebody that might have just read something that try to act like they know a bunch of stuff, try to like
Yeah.
teach you something and like you already know what they talking about, but you let them cook out of just
Mm-hmm.
being like, okay. I feel like that was my experience watching the movie. It's I understand the points you're trying to make, but I also feel like some of it was so on the nose that I feel like it didn't allow for any like, you know what? Like my only like main critique was like, bro, like the Klan doesn't do shit in the daytime, so
Right.
it would have made sense to me if the Klan like they sold a nigga the land in the morning, daytime was whatever, and instead of that morning scene the day after, they should have showed up at night. If the Klan showed up at night while the vampires were outside and then it's
Mm-hmm.
that confrontation. That would have been the most interesting thing of like, okay, they got to decide if the Irish are with them or not. They're both outside of the house for different reasons, but they're both trying
Yeah.
to get into the house. It's like that would have, I feel like, made way more sense than the next day the clan comes in plain clothes trying to, because they don't operate in the daytime. So I just was like,
Right.
I just, I don't know. Like, would they have locked in with the vampires? Would they have shot the vampires? Or the vampires would have attacked them? Would niggas just been in the house chilling? Like, it could have been more interesting to me. And that was like
Mm-hmm.
something that I voiced that I was just like, not. But yeah, I don't know. We could change the topic, but that was, yeah.
No,
As
it's all
far as
good.
the movies I felt a way about, that I was like, obviously I wanted to see it do really well, and it did, and I don't like how every other movie that Variety and all these other places are putting out, like saying, "Oh, y'all are just rewording everyone else's flop movie in a good way," but like a
Yeah.
movie that did really well, y'all are trying to knock. I see
Yeah.
that, and I'm like, I don't fuck with that, but I'm allowed to have certain
Sure.
things. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, but I fuck with the intention and them trying to do something different
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
far
I
as like
mean,
a horror movie and shit. So it's like I
that was a
appreciate that just from that standpoint.
yeah, for sure. So I mean, I'm so far removed from it now because I saw it 3 times. I saw it twice in the theater and then once when it came on HBO Max. Like I think it was
Just
I think it was July 4th weekend. So I watched it for a third
funny
time.
timing.
Yeah, for sure. They knew what they were
Yeah,
doing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but I mean, like, it's a movie I really enjoyed. I know a ton of people felt like it was super on the nose, like a lot of the metaphors and a lot of the messaging. In any other situation, any other context, I'd agree. I think in the context of this movie, I thought it worked really well. Like maybe, like maybe I'm just a mark for that type of shit, but like specifically with the scene where all the different ancestors and all the musicians from different time periods. I know a lot of people have so many opinions about that scene,
Yeah, yeah.
but like I love I love the interconnectivity of it and just like showing the spectrum and the diversity like of black music. And like I've mentioned this before, like I'm a djembe player. I've played djembe since I was like a teenager. So as soon as they started busting out the djembe and the dun dun, I was like, oh man, like it immediately fucking tugged my heartstrings. So I was like, I was like, damn, they got me. Like I didn't want to get caught up in it, but I got caught up in it, and I was like, I don't know. It's really because I imagine the next time I watch the joint and I have the proper distance from it, like maybe I'll be like, ugh, it's a little too cute by half, or just a little too
Yeah.
sweet. But in the moment when I first saw it, like I got chills. I was like, this is movie magic, like on some like I and like
That scene was cool.
yeah.
That
But
scene
I'm
was cool.
happy. I'm happy to hear you thought it was cool.
Yeah, I thought that scene was cool, but like I can also
Yeah.
see, like I'm like it's valid in both ways. There's some people that are like that
Yeah.
was
Of course.
corny, and I'm
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
see that, but I'm also like it's like I can't hate everything. So I was like I'm picking and choosing at least the certain things. I'm like, all right, this is like for me. Even, I thought that I thought niggas, this was like, all right, niggas just gonna kill everybody at the end. I just thought that shit was just like, y'all just did that at the end because you wanted niggas to be like, yeah, like,
Hey, man.
and I feel it. I was like, all right, like,
Yeah.
obviously, like, you gonna win any crowd over if you kill it, like, plans with,
Yeah.
like, all right.
And the crazy thing about that is that unlike y'all who saw it like together in like a mostly empty theater, I saw that at the IMAX at Lincoln Center, or the
I didn't
IMAX
get
at
to do
Lincoln
IMAX.
Square.
That's my only
It
regret is I
was,
didn't get to do IMAX just because we was just running around.
of course, yeah, nah,
Um, nah, what was I gonna say? Uh, oh my god, I'm blanking. Uh, Oh, you noticed just just zooming out, but still in that theme.
yeah,
Vampires in general, it's like, bro, like of all the like you got like werewolves, you got like ghosts, like think like you got like killers, like in scary movies, right? Would you
yeah,
say
yeah,
that
yeah,
vampires are kind of on like the more bitch ass nigga spectrum, like on that side of the spectrum? Because they're the only villains that you can't like. They gotta ask for permission to like come
yeah, to
inside.
come in the crib, yeah,
Like in any like it's not Freddy or Jason going like, hey, oh no, sorry, different. We'll come back. Like no, like
right,
anyone's been
yeah,
in the block, like paranormal activity, you got ghosts. I don't know, like you got all these different kind of things you're dealing with, but they just like I would be okay with vampires because if I was there and they just knocked on the door, it'd be like I'd just be like I'm good, and then they just wait
yeah,
outside until the daytime. I don't even see a conflict in niggas outside because they just, it's not like they're violently trying to get in. But then I had to look into it, and apparently it is a thing. I didn't realize how deep the lore was of like, oh,
yeah,
they're usually very sly, very cool, very like
mm-hmm.
suave. So like they just get invited because niggas think that they cool. So they don't even have to run up the ocean. But as a nigga
Right,
from the project, I'm like, nigga, I don't. I was like, yo, I don't. I have niggas like this outside every day. Like I
yeah,
don't.
nah, like chain lock on the door and everything, like what you want, like yeah, I feel it.
I'm like, this ain't even a real threat for real. I just go to
Yeah.
sleep. I get some real good sleep knowing the nigga outside.
Word.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Wake up the next morning like these niggas is disintegrated, like in just
Yo,
outside. I'm like, okay, like we. And
so
I
you
just
just made me.
I also
I'm
eat a
I'm
lot
sorry to
of
cut you off.
garlic. Sorry, no, you good, you good. We can get into that. I'm Ethiopian. We use a lot of garlic. So I'm just like, nigga, my house
Oh
is
yeah,
good.
word.
We just, I'm not worried about them. Anyhow, go ahead.
Nah, it's crazy. You just made me think. I saw over Halloween, me and my lady watched it was the remake of Fright Night that came out in 2011 that had Colin Farrell was in it, and Anton Yelchin, the dude who passed away, I think maybe like 5-6 years ago. Like so, like it's like Colin Farrell's the vampire, and he spends a whole scene trying to be invited into their crib, and it doesn't happen. But like he tries a couple other times, but after a while, he does the craziest shit I've ever seen a vampire do in a movie. He goes into their backyard, he rips the fucking gas line out like the ground and lights it on fire and turns all the shit on, or like he like lights the gas line on fire and blows the house up. And then he walks in the front door. He's like, you don't need an invite if there's no house. And I was just like, yo, like that shit had me fucked up. I'm not gonna lie. Like he blew up the whole house just to get
This
at them.
nigga said, there ain't no invite if there ain't no house. Wait, what?
I was now, yeah, like
That's some
yeah.
bullshit to say if you blow, like, immediately have to blow somebody's house. That's crazy.
That shit had me. That shit had me fucked up, and it was like all old school vampire rules, like stake to the heart, silver, holy water. Like it's, I really like that movie a lot. I feel like it's kind of slept on because it came out like basically 15 years ago, but like it's really good. Like
Like,
especially as far as like a horror remake goes, you know.
yeah, I like vaguely remember Colin Farrell being a vampire as a thing, like in a movie. I feel like I might have seen that trailer type shit, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But you're saying it's like that.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it.
Oh,
It like
okay.
the only thing I'd say about it that doesn't hold up is like you could tell it was made in the era when like all movies were being shown in 3D. So they get
Yeah.
so like every chance they get, it's like some stupid shit flying at the screen. It looks hella fake, But like
Yeah.
other than that, like
That you gotta just charge that to the game as far as the times
right,
of going spend like any. Yeah, I won't judge a movie
right,
for that because it's like that's what y'all were limited to at the time. You gotta be
right.
very. Cause I be watching a lot of old shit, and it's like it's like watching like. Have you ever watched a show? This is random. Have you ever watched a show called Oh my god, why am I blanking? You ever watch Danger Man? Do you know what
No,
Danger Man is?
nah. Tell me about Danger Man.
Okay. Uh, Danger Man is this British TV show, and it's basically like James Bond, but like it's this guy named John Drake, and he basically it's like a old BBC spy show, um, that they it's phenomenal. It really goes into like a lot of espionage shit, and I'm trying to find the offshoot of it because I think that you would really like it. It was a
Mm,
5 season show, and then the main character who also wrote the show made a 1 season show. Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. This guy,
nah, man, do your thing.
yeah. Fucking Patrick, yeah, this guy Patrick McGoohan,
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal actor. The Prisoner. That's okay. I got it now. Okay. So 5 season show. Uh, he's just I think James Bond going doing a bunch of shit, covert
Yeah.
missions, and then he he creates a 1 season show. This is on Amazon Prime if you have it. It's called The Prisoner, and it's just a 1 season show where it's an offshoot of that, where he basically is like, look, I didn't put in the work. It's like Jordan retiring in his prime. He's just like, yo, I did a lot of shit. I just want to be a free man. I just want to chill. I'm good off this spy shit. And basically, the organization he worked for is like, the fuck? Like on paper, you're like the guy. You're the guy.
I've seen this show. I know
Oh,
the
you
show you're
have?
talking about. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And they
yeah.
basically kidnap him and put him on a remote island. And it's
Yep.
like, and they're like,
Uh-huh.
this is where we control the information. So all retired spies just live on this like remote private island, and he's just constantly trying to escape. And there are points where he does escape, but then he gets brought back into the shit. And it
Right.
just kind of is this whole thing of like free will and like what does it even mean to be like. It inspired a lot of like some of the surveillance shit I was doing, in creating like a world that I was building. But super if you're into that type of shit, I feel like yeah, just based off this conversation, you've already seen it, so you already tapped
Yeah.
in. That show is so amazing. Um, and also like niggas, it also just makes me laugh because you ever seen how shows will have or put out a thing and they'll be like, "Where's the next season?" And sometimes it's like, "Bro, it's not. That's not the fucking point. Like, did you watch
Right.
this
It's
shit?"
just
Yeah,
yeah.
like when they did that for like what was that cross country or
Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft, yeah, love, I said love cross country, like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
the Lovecraft country. It's like they were like, where's season two? And it's like they didn't have, like, it was only one story. If they even made a
Mhm.
season two, it would have been bad because it's not based on anything. You're just pulling strings trying to create a story out of
Yeah.
what wasn't a story. So like niggas wouldn't even want that, let alone like that shit. I just say like it's funny how people will be like, "Where's more of it?" It's like it was only supposed to do this. Like just take it as that.
Right.
Um, which we need to be. I think this takes me to my next point is that as creators, I feel like, or people who consume shit that creators make in any way you look at it, I feel like we should just accept what people offer. Like we should like if somebody's doing something and they're offering like whether it's like a like music, whether it's a performance, whether it's just take the offering. I feel like we'd be so like, well, what about this? What about
Yeah.
like I remember seeing Frank at Coachella, and the internet went fucking visceral about it.
My fault. Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to shout out the Real Notes Patreon one time. For as little as $5 a month, you get exclusive goodies like video of every interview, 2-day early access to every interview, an invite to the Real Notes Discord server, exclusive access to the Real Talk Movie Night archive, and early pre-sale links for all live events. If you want to give a little more, you get other exclusives like retro 60-second movie reviews and monthly 90-minute workshops with me, where we can discuss whatever creative questions or projects you might have going on. Head over to patreon.com/realnotes. That's REELNOTES to join right now. I repeat, all videos will only be available on the Patreon. Thanks for listening. Shout out to my patrons. Now let's get back to talking.
Like, oh, but like if you were there, you fucked with it because niggas cut the live stream. Niggas was really talking about like shit that he was experiencing, missing his brother, talking about like the weight of, you could tell he was going through shit, but he was actually singing, did a Virgil tribute, all these type of things. And it was niggas like, he did like a 15-minute like DJ EDM kind of like under like techno kind of like DJ set for 15 minutes to be like me and Virgil was trying to throw parties like this, but then the pandemic hit and it stopped us from really doing this. So I'm just gonna bring that here. That's cool. And then would be like, all right, I know that was random. I'm gonna get back to the song. It's like, how are y'all mad at a nigga just giving you all this shit? It's like, just take the fucking offering. A nigga that don't even want to be outside. Like, you're gonna scare him into never coming outside. But I'll say that about albums. I feel like some people be that way about like, I wanted more of this. And it's like, just take what the fuck they're giving you, bro. Be appreciative that niggas even can put things out. Like, that's just a thing I've been having, like me and just the homies have been talking about, like, why do niggas get so hung up on like that's the beauty of being an artist. You get to decide what you give and what you offer. So if you're taking
Right.
away my ability to give you what I want to give you, then it's like, what's the fucking point? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
look, sorry,
Yeah.
that's just I
No,
know
no,
I
I'm
just
sorry.
kind of ramble, but
No,
that's just the thing I needed. I want your thoughts on that as somebody that like obviously reviews and like looks
yeah.
over things. Like, how do you discern like I guess what is something worth? You know what I mean? Like, how do you discern that? Let me ask you that. I know I'm not.
Oh, that's such a good question. I like because like it's always a conversation. Like that's how I always approach writing about anything, whether I'm reviewing something or interviewing somebody or just like writing about a song I like. Like it's always a conversation. Like I always got to ask myself three questions. What's the person trying to do? Are they doing it well? Do I like it? Like that's what I and like that's and that comes and that goes for any sort of media I consume. Like because I'm like with the Frank thing specifically, I was one of the handful of people when that happened who was like, I thought it was cool, and I think people like just considering the type of person Frank is, like not necessarily saying that he's above criticism, but
Yeah.
I think specifically what he did, I didn't really have an issue with it. I still don't have an issue with it, you know, like just considering that, like, you know, like I was kind of in your shoes where it's like the fact that Frank even came out and did this, he didn't have to do all that shit. And and like I know that it like parts of it got messed up and interrupted, and you know, like people wanted value for their money. It's a whole like I just like
the
he
story
did it.
was
I thought it was cool. Yeah.
the story was that he like apparently days before the performance, like his homies that were doing production on out there like saw that he was riding like a moped or something, or riding some sort of thing, and fell and fucked his foot up or ankle, and he had a whole ice rink situation. Like ice. Then he had skaters that flew in, learned choreography, and then it was the day of. They were like, "Yeah, melt the ice," because he can't stand on the ice, like he can't do it, and that caused an hour. He started an hour later than he was supposed to. So if people didn't like that, it was delayed, and then because of that, the curfew. So he had to cut, like I said, had to end at curfew. So like there are certain things beyond his control that are like okay, like. But like he did alternate productions of certain songs. Like it was just like doing like White Ferrari, and it's like oh shit, like or Pink and White are doing like just certain like the productions would be different. I'm like, bro, how do y'all not fuck with this? This is crazy. Like I still have hell of it like recorded, and I just watch sometimes. And I'm just like, bro, I was like pretty close too. I was just like, yeah, this shit is like, yeah. If you were there, like it hit different than obviously like you know not being able to see the shit. And like a live stream cut, it's like, of course you're gonna be like, man, this is stupid. Like all right, bro. But
yeah, it's like some D'Angelo shit, you know?
Yeah,
because like that's what, because like that's what D'Angelo used to do. He would play completely different versions of his songs, and sometimes not even play his songs. Like he'd just he'd do like a Prince cover, and then some like random rework of like a B-side from fucking Voodoo. And then that was it. But the shit was super dope. Like I was lucky enough to have seen him do that one time at Afropunk, and then I got to see him do like the traditional show when he toured Black Messiah. But like I don't know, like it was and also I mean I'm sure I've said it at least once before, but rest in fucking peace to D'Angelo, man. I'm still fucked up over that. But yeah, you know, like it's like that conversation is one that I'm always like my opinions are always changing on it. But at this point, you know, like I try to at least meet whoever is making the music where they're at, and try to see if it's working based on what it is and what it's trying to do versus on what my expectations might be. And then I just kind of go to assess everything from there. Like that's how I've always done it. And that's and like that's why like I try to be fair. You know, like there's always going to be stuff that I don't like, but I try to couch whatever personal preferences I have to meet the person where they're at. And if what they're doing on their terms doesn't hit me the way I feel like it should, then it doesn't. But that's it. You know, that's yeah.
I take that approach. I feel like more so just with like life and like dealing with people. Because I travel a lot and just have like friends and like places. I feel like I'd be awesome. You got to just meet people where they're at, regardless of the context. Like I think even just like giving grace. There's a lot of shit going on, so if someone doesn't text you back right away, it's like, bro, it's like, niggas all overstimulated. There's a lot of undiagnosed ADHD motherfuckers.
Bro, real.
Like, myself included. Like, so I just try to be very understanding. But yeah, meeting people where they're at from a like a reviewing standpoint, I think is also good. You know, it's good to hear. Because I think sometimes, like even like myself, like I'm never the type to just focus on one world or like one project. I think I've learned to be a little less attached to what I create, more so because I make so much that I just want to focus more on just putting things into the world than like staying in one world too long. Like it'll be like dropping this project and then immediately gonna roll out with some shit like the following month, like or like I just went like Healing Out Loud 6 months ago, and you know this, and it's like I just want to. I guess I'm at that point, but I don't know. That's just something I was curious about because I think everyone's approach to that is different in terms of like how do you discern like something that somebody's doing from like your actual taste and being objective in those things. But hell yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, like, I also don't really think objectivity exists in the way that we like to think about it. But that's a whole other conversation.
That
And
is
I have a
definitely.
bunch. I
I
yeah, no,
agree.
I gotta.
I
Yeah, no,
agree.
I got a bunch of other I got a bunch of other questions to ask before we get
Oh,
to like specifically the shit about world building. I want to put a pin in that and come back to that. But I
okay.
want to ask I want to do a little digging into your viewing history, considering that you're a bit of a buff. What's the first movie experience you can remember having ever? It could be at the theater, it could be at your cousin's house. Just like the first thing that comes to mind for you.
One of my first movie experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. If I'm taking it back, I gotta take it back to like
Word, yeah,
that's
the
one of my
classic.
like probably one of my first like as far as movies I remember actively watching being like locked in. Yeah, I'd say. Um, but I would say like you mean like just in the beginning of like as early as I can remember, right?
Yeah,
Not like okay, I'd say Lion King. Like Disney movies for sure. I was watching a bunch of shit like that. Like uh Recess, the Recess Schools Out movie was a movie I
yep,
like. I think I ran to the ground like my cassette, like
yeah. That movie's dope.
Rugrats, the Orange Rugrats cassette tape movie, the OG one. Like yeah, but then also like weird enough, like I mean I have like like older like siblings and like cousins and shit. So like I do remember like walking in on like Scarface is when I'm like 5 or 6 and being like, this is crazy. What the, you know what I mean? Or like being like on TV at night when I'm like young and random BET uncut movies are
Uh-huh.
popping up. But no, I'd say Lion King. What about you? What was your first like?
Also Lion King.
Really?
Like yeah, it's like that's a very common answer on this show. It's not a bad answer at all. It's mine too. But yeah,
Yeah.
like I had to have been like 3 or 4 years old. Like my dad tells me the story all the time. He took me to the theater and like right at the I stood right at the chair in front of me and was just
Locked
like
in.
this the whole time. Yeah, like locked in on some real shit. And like that was it for me, you know. I was hooked on the whole experience of being at the movies and just like the breakdown of like everything that is a movie and you know, like I mean like you, there's definitely memories of like walking in on shit I shouldn't have been watching. Like
Yeah.
I remember like seeing I don't know. It's like it's a ton of experiences and like so many memories in my life are like dotted with they're either like defined by or dotted with references to movies or like moments with movies. It's just all over the place. It's
What
all over the
was
place.
what was your first rap song you heard?
The first
Mine
raps.
was
Oh
mine was Hit 'Em
no, tell
Up.
me. Wow, mine was well. Apparently, I don't remember this, but mine was apparently Essex's "I Got the Power" because from a young age, my parents told me that I knew the whole first verse to that song. I don't remember this at all. I can't recall the verse, but I used to like rap the verse as a kid. So apparently, that was the first rap song I ever heard. The first rap song I ever like consciously the first rap song I ever consciously heard, it was either some Tupac shit or maybe hmm cuz like Bow Wow was the first album I ever owned, but that wasn't the first rap song I ever heard.
Niggas act
I
like
want to
Bow Wow
say
wasn't really that nigga for like we just Bow Wow
son,
erasure. The erasure is crazy.
yeah, man. Yeah, no, like that Beware a Dog up to like the Let Me Hold You era. Like
Yeah,
he had everything on lock for like
yeah,
damn near a decade. Like
literally.
I was very, very real. Like people
Yeah,
weren't there and they don't understand, but like,
niggas don't understand. Like Mike was a
yeah.
thing for the culture, bro.
Son. Yeah,
Oh
no,
man,
like Mike, the fucking Ghetto Girls video, like all that stuff, man. That was like
come on now, talk
we were
about it.
there. We saw the shit happen in real time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I know he's whatever now, but like that he was
Yeah,
anyway. But like the first one I ever I can't remember the first rap song I ever consciously heard. It was just kind of like around and there, you know, like
okay.
like I get, like I guess I'd have to say something Bow Wow related where I kind of like it snapped for me, where I was like, I'm a rap fan. It wasn't just like, oh, this is music around. Like I'm a rap fan. I was like 9, maybe 10,
Mm-hmm.
like. But
I
anyway,
uh
yeah,
I I grew up in a music like my dad used to be in a band in high school and stuff. So
yeah,
like, he played a lot of guitar and like drums and shit. So he put me onto like we had a big like stereo system and like CD cassette player in my crib like since birth. So like I grew up listening to a lot of James Brown, a lot of like Smokey Robinson. He played me a lot of like funk, soul, Motown, Ethiopian jazz. My mom played a lot of R&B and like '80s pop, like a lot of Tina Turner was being played. Like
uh-huh.
my sister was really into like NSYNC, Britney Spears, like that world of pop, like Christina Aguilera. My brother was into rap heavy. I didn't get into hearing rap until I walked in on him and my cousins playing Hit 'Em Up. I was like 3 or 4 years old, and I remember being like all I remember saying was "nigga." I just said that. I was the only guy would say that, and I remember it got to the point where I got like
Yeah.
in trouble because like they used to be like, "What the fuck are you saying? Like what?"
Right.
I'm like, "Nigga, I hit him up. What do you mean?" Like I just thought that shit was like so fly, but like not at all what the song meant at all. But yeah, I got in trouble, and that's when I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool." And then I just kind of dug into rap more. Like, okay, we hear more shit. The first not like the first CD rap CD I had though, I didn't buy. The first one I had physically I was given was it was written by Nas though. Like that I feel very like I still got that shit in Maryland. I'm like, yeah, like I would
Wow.
put on some good shit as a kid. They're like, if you gonna listen to this shit, like here, like
Yeah.
I don't even remember who, but I just that one I definitely have. So, do you remember your first like rap CD or just like you like an artist that you either you purchased the CD or you were given the CD?
It was Bow
Or
Wow. Beware of Dog.
oh, it
That
was
was the
okay.
first one.
That was
That was
real.
the
That's
first
real.
one. Cause it would cause like it was that, and then after that it all just becomes a blur. Like later on, like I had Kanye first 3 albums on CD. We had Outkast Speaker Box of Love Below. I
Classic.
guarantee
That's one
you
of
I
my
had at
favorite
least
albums.
one. Yeah, same. I
Yeah.
guarantee you I had at least one 50 Cent CD somewhere. I have like my CD book is back home in Jersey. So like I
Mm,
have like all my CDs across genres in there, and it's
bro.
just filled with like it's like but yeah, like the first was Bow Wow, and then from there it just I just consumed it wherever I could find it. It was a wrap. Like I was hooked.
I may
Like
not hypothetically have allegedly, potentially, hypothetically being on a deep LimeWire kids that like flipped CDs, allegedly,
hmm
hypothetically. So just having music all the time was like a thing.
yeah.
Like so,
You weren't the
like
only one, bro.
yeah, yeah.
You
Like
may or may not have maybe possibly potentially allegedly been the only one.
yeah, yeah,
Hypothetically,
exactly.
hypothetically, yeah.
Nah, 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 nah. Yeah, it's for them people's listening, but nah. What I'm saying, yeah, so yeah, there's certain albums that I just, yeah, we can get into that whole thing,
Yeah.
man. But
I got one more movie related question to ask before we get into other album stuff.
okay,
Um
cool.
as you get older and you start to refine your palate, expand your taste, like become you. I like to think of this next one as a capital M movie, like the one that you saw that really stopped you in your tracks in like an emotional, artistic, or spiritual way. Like the first one you saw that was like, this is a movie, like cinema type shit.
Goodfellas.
Yeah, great answer.
Either I would say actually, no. I would say it was two. I would say
Okay.
Goodfellas and Reservoir Dogs were the
Mm,
two because I remember like well Reservoir Dogs was the first Tarantino movie I saw, so I was like,
mm.
oh shit, like you can be this gory and like but still funny and like and that obviously like led me down a whole rabbit hole of just his movies. But yeah, I thought I would say Goodfellas first, just because Ray Liotta like went crazy in that. Robert De
Yeah,
Niro's
man.
I got Robert De Niro's top five for me. Just my God, like just yeah, I really love that movie. and just the way that story's told. Martin Scorsese, just like I feel like that was like one of those movies that like, I mean, that was probably one of his like big like. I mean, he obviously has an illustrious history, but I feel like that was one of those my favorite movies from him. Of like, okay, like I love the style of like narrative, like you're just it almost feels chaotic, like, but in a very calculated way of like, all right, you're mixing a lot of handheld shots with like static shit. I'm big on framing, like so like Wes Anderson movies also just always do that for me too. But no, I would say Goodfellas.
Yeah, nah, like Goodfellas was, I mean, we weren't there when the movie came out, but like that was like a culture shift, you know, like the way people looked at movies and shot movies and talked about movies, and like particularly like mobster gangster movies, like that changed so much, you know, like it's crazy. Yeah.
I think Scarface also, just because I think I think Goodfellas for me did something in terms of just like my appreciation for good storytelling. But I think like culturally watching what Scarface did, like in my neighborhood, in the DMV, like it turned every nigga that was trying to get money into a trapper. Like it turned, I watched that happen. I was like, oh, like I'm watching this shit amongst peers, and then niggas, it's like, yo, now you in the field. Like it's like, okay,
it was the same way in Jersey, bro. Trust me.
it inspired a whole wave of shit. So like just watching, you know, but also like it's movies like that I learned a great deal in, because like I don't know, like Paid in Full is one of my top like favorite movies of all time, and
incredible.
Just learning the dynamics of like I move like Ace, but like you gotta love the game like Mitch. You gotta watch out for them Rico niggas. Not Rico. I'm sorry.
Cam's character. What the fuck is? I'm blanking on his name. But I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
No, I'm checking now.
Thing. Rico. It is Rico. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, watch out for Rico. I was like, yeah. Anyhow, I was yeah. So it's like it's certain movies like that I think like have such a real impact in like life. Like I feel like that one was like I started to like Scarface and Heno were movies I started to see in real life as far as the layout of like, okay, dynamics of certain people, like, you know, niggas who are hotheads, like where that can go, like niggas who have discernment, like how far you can go and still be good, even if you're in the mix. It is like certain shit that I really like took to heart. But I'm rambling, but yeah.
No, you're good. I think like it's so interesting to me because I feel like most people don't understand the point of the movie Scarface, in the sense that like you shouldn't want to be Tony Montana. Like you like look at how everything ended up for him, but you take it, but then you take Paid in Full, and everybody gets the point of Paid in Full. You know, like Ace got out. Like the movie ends, Ace made it out. He sold his drugs. Obviously Rico goes in the can. Mitch is dead. Like Ace's family and you know, like everyone's.
Like, this is spoiler alert.
That's crazy. Yeah, nah. It's like if you haven't seen Paid in Full at this point, go fucking watch Paid in Full. Yeah. But like Ace made it out. You know, like he also like he snitched. Like there's a lot of feelings about the way Ace went about what he did in the movie. Everyone's got a different opinion about it, but long story short, he made it out. Like he's out the game, he's got his money, he's just kind of doing his thing, living life, not doing that shit. And like people seem to have internalized that more than they internalized what it was with Scarface. I think because with us specifically, we were so young and impressionable, and you just like the only thing you remember about Scarface is the scenes where he's doing piles of coke, counting the money, and then say hello to my little friend, and he shoots everybody in the house, and you don't realize exactly the context of all of that stuff until you go back and watch it as an older person. And but like with Paid in Full, like your brain's a little, like our brains were a little more developed. And like you could see it a bit, you know, you get the context and you understand, at least speaking for me personally, you know. So anyway, I'm rambling now. So.
No, you're fine. I was gonna say, just to add to that, they even, it's funny enough, we're talking about those two movies because like literally Painful has the Scarface scene that like we was
Right.
watching Scarface and we was like, yo, we gotta get these bricks. Like it's like literally like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like so even to speak on that, and they literally addressed that as far as like that really hit as a wave of like showing what. And I think though at the end of the day, the thing that you said that like with Scarface, I think that people I guess don't internalize is like the immigrant struggle. Like it's a
That
lot of
too.
like I'm first gen, so like my parents
Right.
immigrated. You know, my dad was in Russia and Germany before he came to Buffalo, New York, and then made his way to DC. My mom had to go to Sudan, like get out of Ethiopia to go to Sudan to get to DC, like type shit. So it's just like having this like I think that the appeal of that just like it made him the underdog that you wanted to root for. Of like you just came out here with nothing, escaped
For
the
sure.
life that you were in, and like you got this shit out the mud. And I think that like it's funny because yeah, like a lot of like first gen people who have like that perspective, I feel like we're impacted more of just like, yo, like why am I here if I'm not gonna get to it? And like, yeah, that's a crazy. It's not crazy, but it's like how far can you does one go? Like
Right.
it's like that same logic as like like if you got to steal bread, but you got to feed your family, like the ethics of that. Like people want to root for the underdog in those all the time. So it's like I get
Yeah.
the allure of it, even though like the point of it is like, nigga, don't be a crash out. Like don't go this route.
Basically.
Um, but cautionary tales, But it's
Yeah.
only cautionary based on how you look at it, I guess.
Right. Nah, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think that's yeah, just like good food for thought, and that's stuff that you don't really get. That stuff you don't really get like as a kid, just watching like the big bad drug dealer like get all his shit, and then you think back on it, and like yeah, like that's what makes Scarface an interesting movie, like and even more than just an interesting movie, like an interesting cultural artifact because like it's like it can't be overstated how many people that movie touched. Like that was like it has like anybody who watched it at a certain age at a certain time was like that's crazy. It was yeah. Anyway, um, yeah, for sure. Like, but I wanna get back into the music because
yeah.
because normally I ask like when music became capital M music for you, but you've already laid that out pretty plain. Um, but the next question is but yeah, like since we're kind of in the thick of like you're talking about like your pops used to play like or I mean like just like your pops is doing what he did and like everybody in your house and in your family is playing all these different types of music from all these different areas. When like you grow up with this and you grow up with all this different music and like obviously you take an interest in rap. So when did you know music was going to become more than just a hobby for you? Like when did you know you were going to like make the shit and like you were an
So
artist?
so for context, because I was first gen, my parents were like, "You're gonna like." They were really like, "We want you to know music, love it, but you can't do this shit." So
Of
like,
course. Yeah.
it was like
Natural.
very much ingrained as a kid. Like you're gonna be a doctor. So like I took a lot of like I was always an honor student, like getting straight A's or like like dean's list type shit throughout my whole academic career. But I grew up in the like project, so it's like I always had that duality of like I'm the only black person in these spaces and education and like kind of elitist kind of energy, but then I'm only amongst my own and like that duality one served me really well in kind of understanding my predisposition in the world and also like because just growing up in Tacoma Park, Maryland, on the border of DC and Maryland, anywhere in DC is a highly secure, highly policed area because it's right next to the White House. So Maryland and Virginia being adjacent, you got a lot of heavy police presence. Like I almost got arrested at like 6 years old because niggas thought I was a drug dealer type shit.
Mm.
like cuffed up as a child. So like I like grew up in like a very active space. So I say that to say music and like write. I was always creative writing and just free writing and things like that, and poetry turned into poetry, spoken word, like all that type of shit. And then, but I always had an appreciation for like music, niggas rapping. Like I wouldn't be who I am without niggas like Common or Most Def. Nigga, I met De La Soul yesterday, like kicking it with them
Wow.
niggas, like niggas like yeah, we can get to that later, but like it's like certain shit
Yeah.
like
What
that.
the
I'm
fuck?
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like there's certain niggas I grew up on. I'm like, oh yeah, like y'all letting me know that you can talk about how you feel or whatever. And then, but it was really in as far as like it becoming a thing. Oh, I need to do this. Like I would say early high school, like because uh, it got to a point where niggas is just kind of getting into like local activity, getting into some notoriety and shit. And I felt like music was starting to present itself as a way to stay out of the mix. It'd be like, okay, do you want to go into this car with a bunch of older niggas and make a move, or do you want to stay home and make beats? And then I'd be like, I'm gonna stay home and make beats today. And then it'd be like, next day it'd be like, oh damn, like you were smart for that because so and so got locked up. We had to go bail them out. Or like, oh, like you want to go to this function? Are you trying to? I'll be like, I'm gonna do this. And then it'd be like, yo, like yeah, because niggas like someone got shot, da, 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 or like a fight broke out and da, da, da. Like it would just be that so often because I was just in the mix of a lot of things. I was like, damn, this shit is really keeping me out the fucking way. In a way that I think that like I need to continue. I think that was God really like you need to fucking stop because I also didn't see myself as making music because of the family dynamics. So I was like, I can't really do this
Right.
thing. So I had me in a place of like I'm living kind of reckless because I can't do the thing I love to do because of other people's
Yeah.
opinions. So it got to a point where I'm like, nigga, like you can hit up to do shows in New York, or like I'm going with homies to do a show somewhere. It's like this is taking me places, and I'm like, why the fuck wouldn't I? And it was after we like ended up doing like the Fillmore in Silver Spring. It was like a big venue. There are a lot of people
Yep.
to play. After playing that in the city, I was like, bro, like what the fuck else is there? Like I need to either change up my environment or how I'm moving, or else like it's only gonna end in one or two ways. And eventually, I got an opportunity to like go to the Bay, and I was like, nigga, I'm gonna take that shit for sure, just as a way to kind of get out of what the fuck I'm dealing with and amongst because it was not sustainable. And on top of that, there's a lot of like substance abuse stuff I was dealing with at the time, but with like lean and some other shit. So fast forward, like I just saw music as this thing. I'm like, bro, this is a vehicle of what I let it do, and it seems like it's gonna get me to travel, and which is also something I let it do, and just gain new perspective. And like I had to just bet on myself in the midst of literally everyone's saying not to. And like it's part of why even today I sit very confidently and like, damn, like if I didn't do any of that shit, bro, I would not be having a conversation with you today. I'd probably be in jail or not here, like real shit.
Mm.
It's like it's a reminder every day. Um, and I move a lot on my faith too, like because that's gotten me just out the mix and like reminding myself that like this shit. It's not that we gotta do shit; it's that we get to do shit. Like I get to
Yeah.
shit. That's such a blessing, bro. Like, and it continues to unlock doors, just being like authentic in that, and not trying to have to be anything else. And yeah. So I would say like high school was when I recognized this is a vehicle, but I need to really take it seriously. And then like once I graduated, and then kind of like early college, it was like okay, like you got to really take these opportunities. Like if it pisses people off and they don't see it, it's okay because eventually niggas will. If I see it, that's all that matters. Because I feel like you're granted a vision that's above beyond you that only you will get. Like you were told to make real notes. Like you got that
Yeah.
vision. I didn't, you know. So, but I see
Right.
you, and it's like there are people in your life that'll see that you got that vision, and be like, I'm gonna just affirm you. Like do that shit. Like I'm a catalyst too. So if I see somebody doing some shit, I'm gonna hype them up because I'm like, bro, like it costs
Word.
nothing to do that. And I think that just that mentality, I think, has kind of just served me in like getting into the rooms and the spaces, and you know, it's God at the end of the day. But I think it just comes from just that awareness of like, oh shit, like this is a vehicle. If I don't take this shit seriously, this car's gonna go, and I'm not gonna have no way to get out. So,
Right.
I can't give you a long ass like kind of winded answer, but yeah, that's
No,
that's what it is.
that's what we're here for, bro. And yeah, like I can imagine this was around like the Cold Nights and
Yeah.
Nobody and Fall Through era, like just like real
Shit, you tapped in. What
yeah,
the fuck?
yeah, no, real like 1.0 type yeah, like like even just listening to those songs earlier today, like I'm hearing everything you're telling me, and you just kind of like unpacking that, like particularly on Nobody and Cold Nights, like those songs are like very much like unpacking type of like, this is where I'm at, this is what I came from, and this is where I'm going,
Can
and
I?
like,
Can I?
and it's like even getting to know you these last couple of years and seeing you around wherever you've been, like it's like that's the type of person you've always been. Like you're just like you've
Appreciate that, man.
yeah, no, like I'm yeah, no, like don't think I haven't been noticing the way you are and like your character and all, like that's part of the reason you're here. Like I try not to platform or like bring people on who I don't respect, like as people, on top of the music they make. So
Yeah, yeah.
like that's like yes, like like I definitely noticed. And I wanna like where do
You
I
even
even
brought
want
up
to go with
Elysium
this?
is crazy to me because there's
Yeah,
it kind of goes into, I want to, I mean, I could, never mind. Let me not say it on here. Maybe when we offline,
felt
but go
felt
ahead.
felt felt I mean, I was gonna ask about Elysium anyway, because like that's like like that's like the first like proper album you made, and like obviously those are like all pieces of this project. But like like you make the decision, you decide that you want to make music in some capacity. You're going against like even if you're going against your parents' wishes and whatever, this, that, and the third. Like that's a really big risk to take and a big stake to kind of put in the ground. So like talk about briefly about putting Elysium together, what it meant to you after it was done, and where it started to take you once it came out. Like like getting
Yeah.
to the Fillmore, like that's crazy, like as early on as you managed. So like talk to me about that.
Um, so Elysium, man, it's so crazy that we're like, I didn't expect to talk about that project, but I'm glad we are. I feel like that project was where I started to understand. I needed to make that for me, and sometimes it's certain albums in my discography I had to just make like it selfishly because it answered a lot of questions of where I'm trying to take this shit and like why I'm doing what I'm doing. That project really reinforced my why. Like being on the road, you sacrifice a lot of peace. You sacrifice stillness. You sacrifice like normal shit to be on the road and do what you love to do. Like, whether that be away from family, being away from like loved ones, and locking in. I think that project let me realize that I can put together like a cohesive body of work, tell my story in an authentic way, and really just share the perspective that like dude, I was like moving around like crazy when I first moved to LA, and like it was so like I lived in Long Beach for like a year, and I remember having to commute to North Hollywood for sessions. It's just like 3 hours on the train every day,
Yeah, that's a lot.
and like I'm watching niggas get banged on the train. I'm watching like people get robbed on the train, just having to go up like driving, going from Long Beach all the way up to the valley every day, and like it was a crazy time just trying to like keep this shit going at a time where like you had to create your own motion and figure out a lot of stuff. I didn't have niggas putting me on this shit. It was really like me, like I told myself moving to California was like gonna be me like planting flags and planting seeds so that I could cultivate the communities and the things I have to then give resources to my friends back home. So I was like, I'm gonna be on some, not to see like I'm Christopher Columbus or anything, but I was like, I'm gonna come out here and hold it down, and like learning a lot in the time of putting that project out. I've mixed that project, even though it's not the greatest mix, but like it was like I took so much authority of like the direction of it. Shout out to Nick Francis, phenomenal artist who
Shout
made
out
the
to the bro,
artwork.
man. I love
That's
Nick. He's the
I love
best.
him too, man. My guy. Yeah, yeah. It just let me know that like, yeah, I want to tell these, and I love conceptual albums. I love like, I think Earl said that albums are institutions. Like this shit is really that, and like um, yeah, I think that really kind of set up a lot of things for me in terms of like, okay, like niggas saw that I could obviously fuck with what I was doing, but beyond that, I have a line that might be foreshadowing some shit that's gonna come, but like I'm gonna send you some new shit where I basically was like, uh, damn, I don't want to like drop this shit. I don't want to say it now, actually. Um, okay, we just going. I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth on this, just
You're
because.
good, bro. Don't even worry.
Uh, yeah, I basically Elysium to now is such a full circle thing. We'll get into later, but it was just a really special project. I'll leave it at that, and it kind of just opened
Mhm.
the doors for like everything. Kind of understanding that I want to build worlds, that I want to tell these stories. I want to be able to give people something complex to sit with beyond just like some. But then you got to balance that out too with just having fun too, which is kind of what this, now that's what I call Heno World has been. Like I want to be able to
Yep.
shift between like giving you some real shit to sit with, and then just also having fun. So because life is
Yeah.
also too serious to like take it serious. It's kind of something I've been telling myself. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, no, you got to find the fun and the beauty and the humor in it wherever you can. And like, you've done that. Like, I mean, like the project that came right after is literally called something slight. It's like a little EP thing. And then and then, you contrast that with like Teckle and Death Ain't That Bad. But like, even like on all these projects, like you're still like, duality has been so much of it's so much a part of you as an artist, and like the lens you bring to all your writing and all the beats you rap over, and then of course like making it to Healing Out Loud. Like the thing that makes Healing Out Loud so special is that like this is all stuff you've dealt with and to a certain extent evangelized over your whole career, but Healing Out Loud is like the okay, we're getting real literal. Like this is like we need to heal from this. Like how do like I need to throw it all out there, warts and all. And doing that with somebody like Mike Keys, like you can't do something like that with somebody you don't trust. And like,
that's the
you know,
foundation. That's the foundation of our brotherhood now, man. I
yeah.
like you don't even understand how deep the magic. Can I tell you how even me and Mackie like locked
Yeah,
in?
please.
Like it's
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
like it. Like I thank God for him. Like on some real, like it's
Mhm.
deeper than music, bro. Like first of all, we got connected into a group of like music tech, like group chat of sorts of just like here are cool people. Like I just got added on Twitter on some shit, and you should know better than anyone. Anytime you meet somebody cool online and you have DMs and conversations start, 80% of the time it never leaves the DMs. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and that's not even off of like no funny shit. It's just like life. We be busy, so it's like you trying to like tap in, but it's like you. So like he DM'd me, and I didn't even see it for like 4 or 5 months. And I
Wow,
didn't, and
shit.
I was like, oh, and he had DM'd me like, hey, bro, I'm fucking with what you got, I'm from St. Louis, but I live in Virginia now, and like, if you ever on this side, like, we should just get up and like, chop it up, whatever, make some shit. I see it like 4 or 5 months later. I'm like, oh shit, bro, I didn't even see. And I'm like, bro, like next time I'm home, like let's cook up. And we played phone tag for a legitimate year, like 2022 to 2023 was us literally like I'd be like, oh, I'm in town, let's link up, and he'd be like, oh, damn, wifey is sick, we can't have, I'm like, okay, and then he'd be hitting me like, I'm in LA, and I'm like, damn, I'm in the Bay, like, all right, we gonna fit. And literally we just stayed like, and then the right moment happened where I'm like, I'm home, I'm gonna be posted like a month or two, let's go to his house. We had a 4 hour session, and we spent 3.5 hours talking about life. talking about our lives, our families, our just stories, just like our whys, our purpose, just so much of that. And then it got to a place of like, fuck, we got 30 minutes left. We got to make something. But and we ended up making Triple H the outro in like 30 and it like the bars literally came from us talking. Like I literally remember we were talking. I was like, bro, why would I settle for that 1 degree when like everything I want is just 1 degree? I said that in the conversation. I was like, oh shit, that's a. He was like, we gotta write that down. And then like literally that 3.5 hour conversation was the verse of like that song, and we were just like, bro. And then we like just put out a little like teaser that we shot for it, and it like went up. And like it was just people like we got like 1 or 2 like indie offers just off of like a video, because it's just like, oh, is this a thing that y'all are doing? We just want to, and we were just like, yo, like we have this saying of let's just keep it going. Like we don't really like be like talking too much about, oh, we're gonna do this, we do, but like at the end of every conversation it's like, let's keep it going, because there's so much to say sometimes. And we didn't know we were making an album. We just were like, let's just link up, have these like heart-to-heart kind of like real like intentional conversations, and then that would literally inform what we made. And then before we knew it, it's like we just keep talking about healing and like the growth that we each are going through. And I had the idea of Healing Out Loud already, and I was like, I didn't know it was going to be this project. I was going to say that for another idea, but I think this is appropriate. And from there, it kind of just became like, okay, we just don't really lock in on this. And that kind of expanded into a whole bunch of other shit where like I'm having Mackie on every album I do, it's like it's not just us doing collab albums. Like he plays on every, like, and anytime I need someone to play some shit, I'm like, yo, I can just call him for anything, and that obviously turned into like he got an opportunity. He got reached out to by Oddisee, like as we were wrapping up the album, and he was like, yo, like he didn't know if his keyboard player was going to be available for this Europe tour. So they were like, yo, we want to hit you to see if you're available to play keys on this tour. So man, Keys hit me like, bro, I think I might be playing keys for Oddisee. If that's the case, I got to learn all this nigga's music, and that's about to be a nightmare because he makes so many albums. He's just like, in the sense that like, if we're going to do this album, we have to do it now, and it needs to come out before I go on tour. So like it's what prompted me to be like, we dropped Lemons in November last year, and then started rolling out Get Me There, like certain singles. And before you know it, like the conversation changed to like shout out to Dennis Turner. He's Oddisee's MD and bassist for a good company, and him and Mackies were in direct contact, like kind of sorting out shit. And then they started to see that we were dropping shit. And niggas was like, oh, hey, my boy Heno, like low key was planning on being in Europe like for a little bit anyways. Like, could we see if we can like line up like doing some, and niggas started to hear the music and see what we was doing, and niggas was like, yeah, like, all right, cool. He can do like a couple of shows. Like at first it was like he could do 5 shows. Let me know the dates. I'm like, okay, I'm down. Super honored. Then like as we're rolling out and more things are coming out, they were like, hey, is he down to do like 7 shows? And then it got to like, let's do like 10 or 11 days. So and then by the time they told me that, we had been in Europe, so I link up with them in Sweden. And this is the first time I'm meeting Oddisee and meeting all these niggas in person. And like we had followed each other right before everything. So when we're in Europe and we're talking, I'm sitting there with Amir like, nigga, you from Tacoma? Like you have family ties in Tacoma Park where I'm from. Obviously you're Sudanese and black, and I'm East African, so we have that. And we from around the way. And like half of my family is Muslim. My mom's entire family, my brother, sister, like my mom's not Muslim, but my brother, sister, and like her whole family is all Muslim. So I just grew up around a lot of Muslims and like understanding like cultural things, and he's Muslim. So like it was like, damn, we have all this crazy overlap, and we tall niggas at that. So it's like,
you tall as shit, bro.
yeah. So it just became like, oh, so like just throughout tour, like it was, I'll never forget, we were in Leipzig, Germany. That was the 3rd date on the tour, and it was a sold out show, like 400 or 500 people. And he just came up to me and was like, hey, bro, I know you weren't supposed to perform today, but are you ready? Do you want to perform? Like, you got it if you want. And I was like, nigga, put me in the fucking game. I was ready. We have been rehearsing for so long, even just to be ready if called upon. And we crushed Leipzig. Like, that shit went so crazy. Amir put me aside, was just like, yeah, bro, you doing a whole tour now, and like you just got to cancel your plans. Like we're gonna make room for you in the tour bus. Like we gonna like, yeah, nigga, like you about to do this shit. And I said no to other niggas to do this shit. Like so,
Wow.
like the fact
Tough.
that you here, like you're supposed to do this shit, and like from there, like I can call Amir right now. I feel like that's like he's grown to just be like even a mentor, like it's somebody we talk about our families. Like I be kicking it with his kids and shit when I'm in New York. You know what I'm saying? Like we go to the
Yeah.
parks and shit. Like it's and you know I guess like I said, now fuck it. We got a whole collab album that we're gonna start
Oh, let's
rolling out
go.
at the
Let's
top of the
go.
year.
Let's
This is the first time I
go.
ever said that aloud, actually. So at
Fuck
least
yeah,
in this
son.
way. So you know, if you hear like you're gonna see that. But yeah, we're gonna do this now. That's what I
That's
call
amazing.
Heno shit first in December, and then that's gonna come out next. And, you know, it's been so we going back on the road. That's part of why I'm going to Australia. I mentioned earlier, and uh, to bring it all full circle. Last night I
Please.
was at De La Soul's Cabin in the Sky. They had a release event in LA, and I went with Zay. Shout out my brother Zay. All caps.
Shout out to Zay,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
boy.
Yeah,
Talking to him on the phone tomorrow.
oh hell yeah.
Yeah, that's my man.
Yeah, he brought me to that joint. We was just kicking it, and like we ended up just chopping it up with niggas because Oddisee's about to do some festivals with them in Asia and Australia. So I was like, nigga, I'm about to be out in Australia. So like we had all just kicked it with the chopping it up, took some photos and shit. They're really dope, and the album's great. Their album that they're coming out with is fire, but I just love how full circle it all has become. Because I started this year like, oh, I hope Odyssey gonna fuck with me, and now it's like, nigga, we didn't did it, been around the world already, and about to do a whole other run. So it's and that wouldn't have happened without Matt Keys, you know. And he a real nigga for like being like, nah, like, because he's in the fold of anything I'm doing. So I'm like, nigga, this is a win for us. It's not even just like a win for me, like,
right.
And like that's just the way our brotherhood has always been. Like if I see something, it's like, oh, I'm gonna do you in on this thing I'm doing, and he always brings me on board with like things he got going on. So it's you gotta have people like that. Like and I'll end on this, at least with Healing Out Loud. I literally told niggas while we was making Healing Out Loud, I said, bro, this album, we're going to Europe and we're gonna do a bunch of shows. I don't have any plan of how that's gonna happen. I just know that this music's gonna resonate out there. And this nigga was like, okay. Like he wasn't like, nigga, what? Like we going to Europe, nigga, with what money? Like how we it was just like, yeah, we gonna do that shit. And you gotta have people in your life that like say some shit that's like quote unquote crazy, but it's like, nah, you gotta be crazy. I am crazy. I embrace it. I'm like, my friends know I'm gonna say some shit like we gotta go do this. And niggas would be like, yeah, that's the energy we want. Like, and then when it happens, it just was so affirming. Like telling people while we were in Europe, like I was like, bro, like we in Belgium right now. How the fuck rap got me in Belgium? Like, and I'm telling y'all, like, we're gonna be here and now we are. It just speaks to like how beautiful that whole shit was, man. And yeah, that nigga changed my life, and that's a brother for life, Mackie.
That's how you get to living an abundant life, bro.
Yeah.
That's how that's how that happens. That's how that happens. I'm really I'm so happy. I'm so happy all of this happened for you over the course of like y'all put out Lemons, what you said in November, right?
Yeah.
So it's been like a year. Holy shit, it's been like a year. Crazy.
Yeah. And then like, with Healing Out Loud in March, just like these last 6 months have been super crazy, and just wanting to continue the momentum is that's what it is, man. It makes me not have to. It makes me think of like times I've had to like just sit on music like this, and it's like I don't want to sit on this type of shit no more. So it's been you gotta put it out in the world, and I'm glad I got niggas that are holding me accountable to do that.
Same, man. Because like that type of shit. Like you really need to have people who will be willing to stick by you when you don't want to stick by yourself. Yeah. And, like that's like just whether it's like professionally or just like friendship wise, family wise, like you can't put a price on that type of shit. And that,
I was gonna say, I feel like even being in this stage of music, sometimes it's like it's weird, even like being that like I'm over 30, and I say that to say like in this music shit at this age, I've it's niggas that were my peers that like some niggas either fell off or stopped making music, and
Yeah.
or like so like it'd be a thing where not to say it's alienating, but I'm grateful that like I found myself to be like the young nigga in like amongst older niggas with like Oddisee and like good company, but then like with my niggas like Zay with like my favorite color and like Kwame Adu, like I'm
Yeah.
older than them niggas, but those are my brothers. Like outside of this music shit, like I can call on
Yeah,
some life
man.
shit. So it's been a nice like conduit of like knowing your role and like I guess I'm the
Yeah.
older homie, but like I'm the younger homie in this other section. So like you get to learn and share information in both aspects. So um, it's been a blessing to recognize that and kind of be in that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and you like kind of being in this like middle ground between like, you're in your 30s, like I feel like we're both around the same age. So like like we have OGs, but we also have people like just underneath us or a decent amount of the way underneath us, and just kind of being in that middle, like you kind of are in a middle position, and that's a really tender and interesting time to be like as a musician, and people who's and just like you seem like somebody, not even you are somebody who's like willing to learn from people regardless of how young or old they are,
Oh yeah, I was.
and that's like, yeah.
That's the day you think you know everything is the day that it's over. The day
Yeah,
like
you
I
might
feel
as well
like
be
learning
dead.
is
Like,
lifelong, 100%. I was telling
yeah.
Jay yesterday. I was like, bro, like he a young nigga that like I learned from, and vice versa. Like he called me on some
Hmm.
life shit, like because like niggas really care about each other's well being beyond like where you're at. And that shit is so like you know, that's just so important. Like, I'll fight a nigga over Zay. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's
man.
like, it's
Hmm.
like it should mean something to me. But nah,
Yeah.
I think you gotta be humble to like wherever you get information. Or not even beyond just information. Just like recognize when people are willing to pour into you, and are you willing to into other pour over into. I'm sorry, I was right there.
You're good,
Um,
son.
I was cooked. I feel it. I feel it.
Nah, you're good. That was
Uh,
funny. I liked it.
but okay, thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, it's been crazy. So we're actually funny enough, we're all gonna be in New York in like a week or two.
Oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. We can talk about that
Yeah.
offline, but yeah.
Word.
Me, Willis and Zed.
Yeah, nah, link up needs to happen. Needs to happen.
Yeah.
Needs to fucking happen. There's a couple other things I wanted to touch on before we formally wrap this.
Yeah, let's do it.
Specifically, like I'm like I want to know more about now that's what I call Heno, because I know you've like just started the rollout for that. You put out Integrity with Oddisee on it. It's real cool, super duper smooth. Like, love the beat. Love and love to J Rob, love to Mad Keys, like crazy beat. But like, talk to me, because like considering how intentional and thoughtful and like, self-reflective your music is, it seems to me like now that's what I call Heno is moving in a direction that's not as, for lack of a better word, serious. Because like your
Yeah.
music's not serious, but it's like very like it's very intentional. And not to say that this isn't intentional, but it's more like it like now that's what I call Heno as a concept. Because like of course it's like now that's what I call music. We all know what that is. They're compilation albums, but like it feels, what I know about it feels looser compared to the stuff you've done before. Is that, am I on the right track there? Like, tell me about now that's what I call Heno.
You hit it on the nose. And it's funny because like I feel like my friends tell me there's a lot where like niggas who really know me know there's always a time to be serious and there's a time that like I generally am unserious. And I think
Yeah.
that when it comes to creating these conceptual worlds that you want to be very intentional with, you want to really, build out these kind of experiences. You really want people to like be in that ecosystem. That takes a lot of headspace. It takes a lot of like it just takes time to really cultivate that and make it make sense. And I think that as much as I want to do that, I also want to be able to put out things in a way that doesn't always have that heaviness. Like Death Ain't That Bad was a heavy project, and I love that album. I needed to make that to deal with grief of my brother who passed, and it's like, but
Word.
also normalize the conversation around death in like a lot of cultures outside of Western philosophy, view death as celebrating and honoring life as opposed to like mourning a loss, which speaks to like words. Like in a world you can't control a lot of shit, you can control certain things and be mindful of what you can control. You control how you say things, what you say, how you perceive. Like, and that was like a whole, and it's like that in itself was a world in itself, and then which is very heavy. And but crazy enough, I was supposed to put out an album called "I'm Tired of Being Hyper Surveilled."
Right.
That was gonna precede Healing Out Loud. I ended up not putting out the album on streaming because of some shit behind the scenes that we don't really get into. But I at least put out stuff from that world, and I had to. That was just a heavy world in itself that I'm pulling a lot of like grief and trauma and stuff from, and I love that album even though it didn't come out. But that's what made Healing Aloud. Like I needed that to at least come out, and that is also a serious, like heavy album talking about healing and like kind of acceptance. I think that this album, or I'll call it a mixtape, this project, whatever you want to call it, is an opportunity to release things not as serious, but I still love because I make so many different types of music. I be making like drum and bass shit. I be making like some fucking experimental stuff. Obviously, I'm in my rap bag heavy. It so like I want to have a ongoing series where I can essentially because this is volume one. I low key want to
Yep.
do like two or three volumes, and like stuff that I'm building these like intentional these conceptual worlds. I want to have an opportunity to still showcase these other things that may not be on the album. I kind of see these as like my Untitled Unmastered in between my
Word.
To Pimp a Butterflies. If that's a way to that put except not in that conceptual, just more like it's still music you go and get, and it's still me, but it's not so much. Yeah, it's not. It's fun. It's fun, and this series has been and this branding has been an opportunity to just have fun again, despite like um some tiptoeing I've had to do. So I'm gonna tell. I guess I'll say this here. I on streaming, the project will be called "That's What I Call Heno"
Mm-hmm.
because I got may or may not have potentially dealt with niggas being some hoes behind the scene. I can leave it at that. But everywhere
Word.
else, you'll see the now. But except on streaming, it won't be. It'll be just that's what I call Heno Volume One.
Right.
And we're gonna very much get into that very soon as far as letting like that be known.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this series again has just been an opportunity to like again they like, have fun, like be and put out these other sides of me that you might not hear on like other shit. So yeah,
Yeah. Wow. And I mean, just I don't know, just considering all the different sides of yourself you've shown already, it's gonna be nice to see you cut loose a little bit and just like
yeah, have like
once
this.
again, like yeah. Yeah, no, you're having fun, but like this is like real just like let me kick back and just like
I
really
got
have some
silly
fun with
ass
this shit.
friends, and like niggas don't be
Yeah.
thinking I'm a silly person, and I'm like, oh
Word.
my god, like I'm like, all right, let me step out a little bit, let me.
Yeah.
So that's what that is, man.
Yeah, that shit's important and that shit matters, like very much like duality of man, duality of human person shit. Like that's like we need we need as much of that as we can get right now. And I
Yeah,
can't wait to see where it goes, like
thank you, man.
just nah, like this is like I said, it's been crazy to see you really take off in that way within the last year. And this is like I'm like 2026 is going to be even more fun. So
Oh man, it's gonna
fuck
be
it.
so fun, man.
Yo. On
Yeah, it's like I got the next like 2 3 projects already like it's gonna be back to back to back to back. Like I'm
mhm.
I'm I'm trying to flood I did 2 projects this year. I want to do 2 projects next year in 2026. I want to do
Nice.
2 projects in 2027, and it might be another 2 in 2028. It's like really moved. Like it's just gonna be
Word.
like. But so if niggas fuck with my shit, like y'all gonna eat for sure. Like Heno
Let's
fans
go.
will eat. It's no point of these things just collecting space on my hard drive, you know, or collecting dust on my hard
Word.
drive. So yeah, man.
Shit. On that note, last question for you: if your life was a movie, Heno, what would it be about?
Man, if my life was a movie, it would be about. Oh man, it's fun. It would be the trials and tribulations of a real nigga that like you don't get any applause for. It's like it'd be like a mix of like Truman Show mixed
Yeah.
with like uh mixed with a little Forrest Gump, but you could sprinkle in like some Atlanta. I feel like it would just be like the downtime that downtime of being an artist, but then also like the trials and tribulations of being a real nigga. Because I feel like no one applauds you for being a real nigga. Like you can't even. I was talking to Yo about this shit. I'm like, bro, being a real nigga gets you nowhere. It's
Yo,
a joke, but like,
man.
it's like that sentiment of
Yeah.
like, I just gotta have integrity. Like that's just what I have to do. Like it's
Right.
like
Yeah.
it's not like niggas are like, yo, here's you get credits for that or you redeem some. It's like, nope, you just gotta do that shit
Yeah.
because it's a world of niggas that won't. So that's just like, all right, that's just
Right.
code. It's like, all right,
And yeah.
I'm a discern to be cool, even though some shit annoying. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
I feel like
And
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Finish your thought.
That's the film. Like maybe a mix. I feel like even Curb. I feel like Curb Your Enthusiasm, low key, would be like in movie form would be me. Like me and Larry David. Whenever I run into him, we gon' yeah. I'm trying to be on some JB Smooth shit in his next shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Let's go.
but nah.
Yeah, that's
What about
amazing.
you?
And yeah, if my life was a movie, it'd really just be like it would just be like some slice of life shit. Like it'd really be some like surreal slice of life shit, kind of like a mix of like Atlanta and I don't know. I like, to be honest, I feel like a big chunk of my life, my movie would really just be some surreal slice of life shit on some Atlanta shit. That's really where
Okay.
I'm at with it. With and every time I go to sleep, I live out a dream world inspired by Black Dynamite. That'd be it. They would have nothing to do with each other. They'd just be two things existing in the same space,
Yeah.
just on some like tonal
Just on
clashing
some
shit. You know?
juxtaposition.
Yeah,
It's like, all right,
yeah.
we live in a chill day to day, and then nighttime it just turn up. Like, all right,
Right.
like niggas just trying to fuck some shit up. I love
Yeah,
that.
like I mean, like my answer might be different tomorrow, but right now, that's if my life was a movie, that's what my life would be about for sure. You
When
know,
when 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 niggas pull up on you in New York, I'm gonna ask you that question again. So I'm gonna need to know where you're at that point in time. But yeah,
Word.
I think Curb is where I'm at. Now that my answer's changed already, and even in this comment, I think
See,
Curb. It would be
yeah.
Curb. I feel like I'd be
Damn.
in some really random ass shit all the time, and then it'd be random side quests I go on with my friends. Like we even refer to our shit as like crossover episodes. Like when me and Willis do something, it's like, oh, it's a Hannah Willis episode. Like we just like that's just how we like go, and then tell the homies like, yeah, we just had this whole side quest over here. Like we playing a bunch of Bee Simulator. What you know about that? Can I ask you? This is super random. That's super random.
I know a little bit about Bee Simulator, and I've seen you playing it. So yeah, like
Bro, it's been so stupid, but it's been so funny. Like we really just have dedicated the last like few weeks, legitimately, like after we end the night, getting back to the crib, and just really like you get to be a bee, like you get to literally sting shit. Sometimes it's wasps that run up in your hive, and it's like, what? I gotta fight the wasp. Sometimes it's I gotta collect pollen because the queen asked. It's like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in the black and yellow right now. I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
like
man.
I'm really
see.
Yeah, we live in this. It exudes in real life too. But anyhow, yeah, I'm rambling. Rambling now.
Nah, man. The last sort of simulator game I ever played, the last one I played was probably, I remember Goat Simulator was really big
Yeah,
at the time, and I was definitely on some Goat Simulator time for a minute. Yeah.
I didn't know about any of the simulators. I started with Goat Simulator, and then it's like this goat can just light shit on fire and like electrocute
Yeah.
stuff. I'm like, this is crazy. And then they're like, "Do you know about bees?" And I'm like, that one kind of just took over for me. I'm like, yo, like it's it'll
Yeah.
just be like, yo, this dude is stomping on flowers. We can't let him do that. And then it's like you gotta go
Right.
and sting him to like get him away. It's like it's so funny. But anyhow, yeah, man.
Yo, fucking like thank you so much, Heno. Like this was such a fun, like uplifting, inspiring convo. And like I said, just like as somebody who, I mean, like I've known you for a while, but like seeing the growth and the progression and just like knowing what you have in store, like just shout out to you, bro. Like thank you so much for doing this.
Man, I appreciate you very much, man, and I can say the same about you, man. I feel like
Oh,
time and time again, whether like doing the real no shit, doing like the hearing things, like doing like I feel like you always find a way to stay busy and like diversify. And then seeing you do a fucking DJ set or like a beat set, like with your homie, I'm
yeah,
like,
man.
oh man, I didn't even know he was even producing. I'm like, this
Yeah.
dude is all over the place.
I just
The
started,
same.
man. Like,
Hey, that don't fucking matter. That don't fucking
yeah.
matter. Like the only difference is length of time. The fact you are doing is just you're doing. Like there's no trying. It's like you are, you're not, and you are. So just even that, I want to give you your
Thank you, man.
and also just grateful to be a part of this platform and just even getting to chop it up with you because you're one of the few writers I would say like I really like. I look forward to seeing shit when I see you put some shit out. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tap in just because like me and yo, obviously me and yo, we crash. We all talk about this shit of like, man, like this
Yeah,
journalism shit is cooked. So like y'all really the niggas I like
Thanks
like
for listening.
certain
Shout out to
people
y'all
like I
for
really
making it
look
this
to it
far.
like y'all
Shout out to all
holding
the
it
black
down and
people
fighting
listening
the good
too.
fight.
Y'all really impeccable.
thank you, man.
Don't forget to
Yeah,
like,
nah, like
subscribe,
yeah,
and
yeah,
tell a
yeah,
friend
like
to come
fucking
through
like
next
Crash
time.
and Yo, like those are my brothers. Like I'm not, I feel like I've known
Invoice
them 20
boys.
years. Yeah, Invoice Boys, you already know
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
is,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Like yeah, yeah, down to the fucking soil. But yeah, like
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'm just happy to be here and to like keep finding ways to just I don't know, be here, express myself, and just like this is all fun, and I'm in a position where I'm like not dying, so I'm
Yeah,
cool, like it's we're having fun until the wheels fall off,
yeah.
That's
That's the way to do it, man.
that's all it
I'm right
is,
there
man.
with you.